Hello, my loves. Yes, it's that time. One of you recently requested that I do another installment of Date My Decks, and I realized it's been since last spring that I made one of these installments. And I actually have quite a few more decks, which maybe that's a confession. Because did I need more decks? Not really, no. Do I love having more decks? 100% yes. But I do have a lot more decks now in my collection, and so I thought, okay, this would be kind of fun to do an updated Date My Decks, or next in the series of Date My Decks. And I do have a couple older decks here too that I was like, ooh, they haven't made the list. And I did go through, there are 4 videos in the series. I'm pretty sure I have a playlist up. If I do, I will post that in the description box down below in case you want to check out the other ones that I've done. It is gray here today. We just had a huge snowstorm come through. We have another like really nasty storm that's coming in tonight. So it's just been like gray, and it's like chilly, and just, you know, it's January in New England. It's not necessarily my favorite time of year, but we are getting through it. We're gonna have a sip of tea. Yes, I got a London fog from Starbucks this morning. I had to go run some errands for the little guy, and yeah, so I treated myself to a London fog. Which, side note, talkie video, side note, Starbucks either gets the London fog just right, or they completely and totally fuck it up. But today they did it just right. It's quite delicious and delightful. So, okay, here we go. So you guys know in Date My Decks, I give you the personality of the deck as if I were on a date with the deck, or as if you were on a date with the deck. Okay, so we're going to start with Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid. This is an oldie, and it's one of the few decks of hers that, you know, has really stood the test of time for me. It's very, very accurate. It's not my favorite aesthetically. It is what it is, but it's very, very accurate in readings. So if this deck, okay, this deck would be Gemini. This deck would be a Gemini. This deck would be a Gemini who's older than me. I'm trying to think like, I think leaning female, but they may identify as they, but leaning a little into feminine representation. They're older than me. They're a Gemini. They have traveled the world like at least a few times. They really love Thailand, and they love traveling in that area of the earth. They have a sense of let's say they listen to Alan Watts. And so they have a very wide perspective. They're very measured, but they love to talk. So there's lots and lots of talking that happens with this deck. And like almost hard to get a word in edgewise, but also they're fascinating because they've had so much life experience. So I don't necessarily want to interrupt them, even though I kind of wish that I could talk a little bit. But they have so many amazing things to say. So one is listening with rapt attention to the Wisdom of the Oracle. Where do we go on a date? Well, we have to go somewhere outside. Maybe like a concert with food trucks, but we get there early to have our dinner before the concert starts. And so we're kind of like standing around talking before the concert. Now, this Gemini has been very smart in that they have picked a band that I love, that they, oh, sorry, this deck does use reversals, that they know that I like, because we talked beforehand, because we met online. We definitely met, let's get real. Wisdom of the Oracle, we met online. We totally met online. We talked music before, because I always talk music when I'm dating someone or getting to know them. And so they picked a band that we both like. Perhaps Lord Huron, right? Like not goth hardcore, but somewhere in the middle where I can really still enjoy the melodics of the music, and they really enjoy the lyrics because they're a lyric driven person. Lots of talking. almost to the point where like it's good and I'm listening and I'm enjoying, but then once the concert starts, it's like, no more talking. I think I get talked out by this one. They're fascinating and I definitely want to know them, but I don't think I want to seriously date them. However, the night was enjoyable. It does end early, but it ends on a sweet note with a hug and still lots of texting, lots and lots and lots of texting. That is wisdom of the Oracle. Again, older Gemini, like they smell like, okay, I'm gonna tell you what they smell like. That really popular like bourbon vanilla thing that everybody is doing, which is how you know when something's almost out. And it's like too much, right? Like I don't like it, but they smell like that kind of like bourbon vanilla thing. They're not patchouli, they're too mainstream for hippie, but they do have like a wider perspective of things. But like, yeah, bourbon vanilla is what they smell like. And it's like a little off-putting, but you know, great nod to the masses. And again, I do learn something, but I don't really want to seriously date them. That's wisdom of the Oracle. Okay. I'm very excited for this one. This was like my first one. I was like, all right, I didn't do Angelarium yet, did I? Because I am like, you guys know I love Angelarium, but I am like in a renaissance of our love affair. And I fucking love this deck so much. I need to do a video on the channel just for this. So Angelarium, Oracle of Emanations by Pete Moorbacher. He's doing a tarot deck right now. If you support him on Patreon, you get to see the images before anyone else. And I'm so excited. I digress. Okay. All right. This deck has big dick energy. So I gotta go. I want to go Capricorn because I love me a Capricorn, but no, he's not a Capricorn. And it is predominantly male energy, very masculine energy. Oh, about 10 to 15 years older than me. Very tall. Great boots, like well worn, but quality boots. He drives a motorcycle, owns his own business. So like he's like 50 to 55. Definitely has a beard. He's got some gray going on in there that's really attractive. Blue-green eyes. Oh, what sign is he though? I think, oh, he might be a Sagittarius. Oh, he might be a Sagittarius. I think so. I think he's a Sagittarius sun. Okay. And he knocks it out of the park because first date, let's go for a ride by the ocean, right? And then we're going to go get dinner somewhere where we can sit outside, you know, like some kind of like surf and turf thing, but they have great drinks there. And we are like, we have to drink a real, like we are drinking hard liquor. We're not doing wine. We're doing like a gimlet. Like I would do a gimlet with this guy. And of course, Tamworth Distillery or Hendrick's Gin only. Let's see. He's super intelligent. Again, like I said, owns his own business. Probably in his 30s, like he went through something where he kind of lost everything. And then he woke up to like the reality of what really matters to him in his life. And he figured himself out. And now he's in this place where he's rebuilt his life and he's very successful, but he's very grounded because he understands what matters. And he can absolutely talk about the meaning of life, esoteric beautifulness, occult symbolism, Eastern philosophy. He can totally go to Jung with you very easily. He's got to be in all black because, yes, he's in all black. He's in all black. Very well put together, but like rough masculine, you know? And he smells like salt air and like fur. He's like a combination of the woods and the ocean. I really got to go on a date with this deck, huh? Okay, so, but here's the thing. He's very good at asking questions, sometimes uncomfortably so, because like he asks the question and puts it out there, leaves it until you respond in full. And so you can't do like phone it in answers. You've really got to think, because he's asking great questions and he's actually listening to hear what you're going to say in response. He's not thinking about the next thing that he's going to say. So the conversation's very engaging. It has a beautiful flow. He's very sexy. The night, and so go for a ride, go out to eat, have a few lovely cocktails, go for another ride, watch the sunset, find a bar with live jazz music. Okay, this is my favorite one so far besides TOV, guys. Walk in the city, because we would definitely be like in Portland or Portsmouth on the East Coast, some maybe West Coast too, but like somewhere by the ocean with like old city vibes, right? Where like you could walk along the brick roads and like just chat and talk and look at things. We definitely stay out till super late. He's definitely getting a second date. But he's very like nonchalant in that he's not pushy when he asks to see us again. Okay. So this is Angelarium. Oh man. This is Sagittarius men, guys. Oh, I tell you. Okay. Yes, that is Angelarium. Whew, want to go on a date with Angelarium now, please. Although it's too cold right now, so we'll have to wait till warmer weather. Okay, we're going to do the Hush Tarot now by Jeremy Hush. I actually love this deck. I know, I've recommended it to some of you. Well, I've recommended it on the channel, and some of you love it, and some of you are like, you know what, Racine? Just cannot figure this deck out. I went through my list, and I did not see the Hush Tarot on there, so I don't think that I've brought the Hush Tarot in to date my decks. Okay, Hush Tarot is a little bit younger than us. Very Virgo. Hush Tarot is a Virgo. Very outdoorsy type, couple years younger than us. Like not so young that you're like, I don't know if it'll be a good match, but just by a couple years. Very sweet personality. They don't talk a lot. However, when you ask them questions, they will gladly answer. So it's not like they don't want to talk, they're just shy. They are one of those people who can survive in the wilderness with like nothing for at least a few nights. Like they know how to make their way in the woods without much on them in order to survive. And they are a loner. They do love to spend time alone, and they read a lot. What do they read? They love Lord of the Rings. Okay, so Virgo loves Lord of the Rings, younger than us. Light colored hair that tends warmish. They have a sweet beard. Let's see. Brown eyes. Brown, but like kind of hazel eyes. They've got some kind of significant Scorpio placement in their chart too. Very deep thinker, very sweet, very nervous, but very real. So what do we do? Okay, so this is one where we're going to go somewhere to get a drink to start the date, but it's somewhere where they have like outdoor seating at the bar. Then we're going to eat, I don't know, whatever we do is going to be farm to table. And then we're going to go see a movie, but it's like playing outside at an outdoor like drive-in or something like that. So we're going to watch a movie together. It's totally going to be like an art house picture. And some obscure movie that not a lot of people know about. Like they've sent us the information about the movie before the date to make sure we would be interested in watching it. So we like both have prepared conversation topics for the movie. Very sweet. So after the movie, had a nice time. We'll go for a walk to end the night. Would definitely see this sweetie again, but it's not, you know, immediate attraction like Angelarium. It grows on you. They grow on you, and they're a very deep thinker, very sweet, very earnest. They care very much about how they affect the world as a whole, it really matters to them. So that's the Hush Tarot. They're a sweetheart. The Hush Tarot is a sweetheart. Just put them on a little keychain because they're so cute. Okay, let's see. Let's do, now guys, I know I'm saying this name wrong. Loputyn, whatever. This Oracle deck, you guys know I'm fucking obsessed with this deck right now. And this had to be on the Date My Decks list because this is a newer one. She's female. She's in her mid-30s. She's an Aquarius. She's totes an Aquarius. All right, let's see. We go to an art museum. We meet just at like, okay, so it's like we're in the city. Maybe we're in New York. Could be Boston, but it feels a little busier than that to me. And we go on like one of those walking trails that like take you over some of the buildings in the city. That's where we meet. So we go for a long walk to start. Then we go to an art museum. Then we go to high-end French cuisine for dinner. Like that's where we finish the night. It's a long night. There's a lot of talking and like, but not like the Gemini wisdom of the Oracle where like they were doing a lot of talking. There's like a lot of conversation and a lot of like intense eye contact. That's this deck to me. And like, oh my God, I feel that way too. I can't believe it. You feel that way too. I didn't know like someone else had similar feelings to me on that. And like mind blown. They're very intelligent, especially when it comes to the symbolism within the art that we go to look at. And there's got to be some kind of exhibit focusing on photography from the early 20th century. And so we end up having a whole discussion about the difference between traditional art modalities and the newer forms that have taken place over the last 150 years, and what that means as the ways in which we tell our stories through art form, right? There's nudity in this deck, guys. Sorry, I should have said that. Yes. And yes, she is kinky. And yes, we do talk about that. We talk about passion and attraction and sex and what turns each of us on and what we are secretly afraid of but would like to try and things that were definitely don't turn us on, would be total no's for us. Like lots of talking. We basically close the restaurant. So walk, museum, then we go out to dinner. We don't have any drinks. No alcohol. She doesn't drink. So mocktails, craft mocktails all night long. I might have one glass of wine. Oh, yes, I have to have one glass of wine with her. It has to be red, maybe a Malbec. One glass of wine to end the night, Malbec. We have some kind of decadent, delicious, foamy dessert, something beautiful, soft, sweet. We definitely make out at the end of the night. I never hear from them again. That's Loputyn Oracle right there. There it is. She is magnificent and she changes your life, but she don't need ya. Okay. How are we doing on time, guys? Okay, I'm gonna wait on that one. Okay. We're going to do the Horror Tarot because I'm also sexy obsessed with this deck right now. I'm going to do a full review on the channel because I've been using it a lot. So this is Todd Alcott's Horror Tarot. Now, my understanding is I haven't done the Pulp Tarot on my Date My Decks yet. I don't know why I haven't, but that will be in the next installment, I promise. Okay, this is a guy. He writes code. He's got to write code. He is obviously a horror movie fanatic. So am I. Specializes in 70s to 80s, especially like slasher flicks from the 80s. Now, I'm a Hammer horror girl, 70s, late 60s, early 70s. So we can both like teach each other a little something about the horror genre, but we have enough knowledge going into into the date about horror movies independently that it leads to some great conversation. So there isn't that awkward like getting to know you phase because we get into talking right away. Now, he is a little bit nervous. He's probably 5 years older than us. What sign is he? Aw, he's a Libra. We love us a Libra sometimes. Okay, so he's a Libra, 5 years older than us. He's wearing all black too, but he's not as put together as our Sagittarius because he writes code. Like he works his own hours. He's like an independent contractor. So he tends to work at night a lot. He doesn't see the sunlight a whole ton. He's beautiful. He's got to have like gray, steel gray colored eyes, okay? He's a little bit taller than us, but not too much taller than us, but he's a little bit taller than us. Again, all black. And he carries like one of those beautiful, do you guys remember? I don't know if they're still popular, but you know those like messenger bags when they're like really well done and they have, forgive me for all it, if you're vegan, but you know, like really well done in leather and it's very worn in and it's got that beautiful look. So vegan leather or leather, wherever you are on that. That's his messenger, but he carries a messenger bag with him and it's got like anything and everything that you could need in there. And we end up having a fascinating conversation about what we carry in our bags and why we carry bags and how amazing bags are and all of that good stuff, right? Okay, so he loves horror movies. He loves obscure, strange, just fascinating movies. He's a movie buff. He's a movie buff. He's a little bit nervous, so we meet and have dinner right away. There's no warm up. There's no warm up. It's just straight to dinner. But he chooses really good, high quality level American cuisine. So he made a smart choice because we met online too. Let's be real. This one we had to meet online. Yeah. So he went like easy, no matter what my tastes were as far as food goes, kind of couldn't go wrong with this place, right? He drinks beer. Yeah, he's still holding on to the craft beer thing, hasn't let that go. And he likes oh my God. What's the dark beer called, guys? Why can't I think of it right now? He likes the darker beer. Lager? Is that what it is? I don't drink beer, but it's the darker color, right? It's not that amber light tonality of beer. No, it's like the dark, moody kind. He's definitely like had his heart broken in love. And he tells us the whole story, the whole story of the heartbreak and what happened from his side of things and how he's gotten over it and what he's learned about himself and what he wants next in a relationship. Like, he's very focused. He wants a relationship. He's looking for a serious connection. And yeah, so he kind of woos us with the movie thing. We have fascinating dialogue, but he gets like really heavy into past history and it's enjoyable, but it's a little bit like, whoa, slow down, dude, first date, right? It's got that kind of feel to it. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Like, I don't know, this guy might be moving a little too quick. It's got that kind of feel. Let's see what else. Okay, like I kind of like him. I like him. I don't know if he's going to get a second date right now though. Okay, so we do the dinner thing first. And then he's like, oh, we should totally like watch a movie. Do you want to come back to my place? No, we always say no on the first date to this, right? It's like, no, no thanks. That's okay. So then we find an obscure little place that's playing some indie movies or something like that. And we go and watch a movie and then we go get dessert after that. Yes. And we have a nightcap with our dessert. It's like some place that's open really, really late. And we do stay out and talk until the wee hours of the morning. I think he does get a second date, but I'm cautiously optimistic, aware that there may be some red flags. That's the Horror Tarot. Okay, last deck, guys, because I'm already at 24 minutes. Last deck today is, yes, the Queen Mab Oracle. I'm so in love with this deck right now. I'm having such powerful experiences with it. And I've just felt like she needed to be on this list. Okay, so this is a she. She's a Taurus. Yes, she's a Taurus. She has a beautiful hair. It's very long. She is insightful, witty, a little reserved, very sexy. When she walks into the bar, like everybody looks at her. And we definitely are meeting at, sorry guys, it's so chilly here that my nose is running. Give me one sec. When we walk into the bar, like everyone notices us together, right? Because like that's Queen Mab vibes. Like you gotta like look at me. Hello, like that's Queen Mab. So, okay, how old is she? She is in her early 40s. She has a lot of life experience. She prefers to live on the coastline, but not right on the water. But she likes to be within traveling distance to the ocean. She has a huge community of like friends and family, and she's like the artsy one of the group, right? So she's the one that people go to when they want advice. She's a little bit shorter than us, but she has great heels on. Can we just for a second, she's got to have gorgeous heels on. They need to be like black patent leather with something beautiful on the buckle of, they're Mary Janes. They're black patent leather, but they're like 4 inches. Absolutely gorgeous. We are not going for a walk in the woods, okay? So we're starting at the bar to have drinks, see how it goes. Do we want to go like hang out after this? Maybe the date's over there. We don't know. I'm a little nervous because let's face it, we want to impress her. Like she's gorgeous. We want to impress her. We want to hang out with her more. We want to make out with her. Like, I feel like Queen Mab Oracle is a deck that like you want to make out with like for a while, like just slow make out session, great music on, candles lit, right? So, okay. So we start at the bar and we go somewhere fabulous for dinner. Somewhere with like, oh man, like bao buns. I think we want bao buns. Yeah, like bao buns and like, Okay, so we go to a couple different places and we do like tapas where we get like little plates at each place, right? And, you know, we're having a few drinks. We're having fun. We're kind of hopping around to a couple different restaurants. We are definitely taking an Uber between places because we aren't walking forever in those heels. She's very insightful, very smart, asks great questions, listens, but is very but shares of herself as well. She's not as shy as Hush Tarot, right? And every once in a while she comes out with something and you're like, holy shit, you just rocked my world, lady. Like she just brings an awareness to you that makes you shift a perspective that you had, right? So we are smitten. We want to go on another date with her. So much so that like we actually kind of ask her out. I don't normally do that. But we're like, hey, you know, this was like a really great time. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. We've been together since like 7 at night. This was awesome. Like, do you want to hang out another time? And she invites us back to her place. And we do go this time. Because we need that makeout sesh. Okay, so we're gonna have a makeout sesh with Queen Mab because I feel like we need to have a makeout sesh with Queen Mab. We definitely go on another date with Queen Mab. She's independent, but she's looking for something real. But she also needs her space too. So she's not gonna be cloying. Queen Mab is not going to be too possessive, but she is going to be ever present. So this has been, I think this is the 5th installment of Date My Decks. So much fun to do, guys. To the viewer who asked me to do this, thank you so much. It's fun to do a lighthearted video. It really lifted my spirits today, especially with the weather here. So thank you for this request. I am sending you guys, as always, so much love and many blessings. You guys know, Patreon link down below. Thank you so much to the Patreon supporters who make this channel keep going. You guys make a huge difference. I'm so blessed and honored to have you all. Thank you to all of you, my viewers and subscribers. You guys know I love you so much. It's wonderful to share this journey of life with you all. Let's see, what else did I want to say? Oh, Instagram links are down below. The Diadem of Protection Kali workshop starts this Sunday on the channel if you want to participate. So definitely keep your eyes open for that. As always, sending you lots of love, many blessings. I'll see you in the next video.